live. Yay! And this is a good day. I feel like I am more alive than I have been in a while. The back is about 90% better, so thank you guys for praying for that. And COVID, except for just a tiny bit of cough here and there, I have my drink ready to go. Is pretty much done. You know, it's been gone for a while, just the residual throat thing, but I think we're pretty much, good to go. And really looking forward to this coming week. I will be in, well, the plan is to be in Pittsburgh at Green Tree, Pennsylvania. It's just outside of Pittsburgh at the Pittsburgh Creative Arts Festival. Um, Registration has officially closed online, but there are a few spaces in my classes should you decide to show up at the last minute and you want to sign up for a class. There will be many classes that you can probably choose from. A few have sold out, but most have not. But my classes are gonna be kind of filled. I mean, one of them already has 18 people, and I think the max is 20. So it's getting close there, which is really good. Anything else I need to tell you about that? I will be teaching August 25th at 4 p.m. with the I Love Crochet Cables class, and then the two classes the next day on August 26th are Fun Crochet Fabric for Beginners and Big and Bold Cables. And again, August 25th through the 27th, there is going to be a huge marketplace. Excuse me. So if you need yarn, there is going to be about 3 ballrooms filled with vendors of selling, yarn and all sorts of things, yarn, crochet, knit related, and I think 1 or 2 yarn trucks outside. So it's going to be a very, very well supported event. It's this year. It's the most economically priced. So if you can be in the area, definitely give it a try. I'm going to be hanging around through early Saturday because I'm really not going to have much time to be in the marketplace. So um, if you're in the area and you want to hang out or just meet me somewhere, please text me or not text me, send me an email and maybe we can try to connect somehow. Um, but I will be in the marketplace on Saturday and I'm going to be trying to do some filming for you all. So just so I can bring it to life to you guys who can't go, but I have to wait and see what I'm allowed to do once I get there. But anyway, let me go ahead and say hey to you guys who've been waiting so patiently in the chat here. Tammy, you're the first one in the chat. Good morning to you. And Alana, so glad that you can be here. And Elaine, she says, looking forward to the show. Love to see what happens and all your new stuff coming out. Yes. Excuse me. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, I have at least 2 new designs to show you, and I'm really excited about that. Excuse me again. We have Margita. Hey, Margita from Sweden. Good to have you there. And Lashira Crochet and Judy. She says, counting my blessings for. Thank you so much, Judy. That is so sweet of you. And Archer Nace said, may not be able to participate, but I'm here in spirit. See you in Pittsburgh. I'm so looking forward to meeting you. And thank you again. She already donated $10. We're going to put that into our kitty for Rancho 3M. We are up to $35 now, so we're excited about that. Once we hit 100, we're going to try a song or something special. And we have Sandra Harper, Wanda Gordon from a cloudy Bahama, North Carolina. She said, praying all are well. Yeah, I'm doing fine, but I hope you all are doing well too. It's been beautiful weather here. It's been sunny and temperatures kind of on the dry side and in the high 70s to low 80s. Got a little hotter yesterday, but it was still very tolerable. Donna from Tucson, Arizona, and Kelly. Don't worry, Kelly, we weren't late. It's been a study though. forgot to bring. I just have to go get my Bible. I have to. I'll look it up online. And yeah, love to craft. And I'm sorry to hear about your mom, Kelly. Yeah, that could be hard. And yes, thank you, Wanda. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up if you can. Thank you. 20 of you have already done that already. Thank you so much. That just helps the bots to do their job behind the scenes magically. Um, Terry Redmond is in the chat. She said, "Good day, Bonnie, Hannah, and others. Everyone is doing well." On for a minute before I leave. Well, good for you. And no problem, Kelly. You are welcome here whenever. And I totally, I totally get it. People have a life and a schedule, and not a problem at all. Um, and I just so appreciate your support when you guys. We have Grace from Northwest Washington State. Thank you for being with us, and Sandra. Um, and yeah, I hope you're doing well too. I'm looking forward to meeting you at some point. I'm hoping to see you when I get down south in September. And Tracy from Oklahoma, and Cynthia from Illinois. She says hello from sunny Illinois. Yay! And Crochet Done My Way with Wanda. Hey Wanda, thank you for being out there for us, serving us the way you do in your truck driving extravaganzas and so forth. Thank you so much. I just so appreciate what you do. And we have Cynthia Burke. She you in Pittsburgh. Yay. I'm so good about this. I get to just drive there this time. It's just, 3 hours from my house. So I'm really excited. And to be honest with you, it's probably going to take me just as long to drive to Pittsburgh as it would probably less time than to, get to the airport an hour and, leave from the airport, wait an hour and a half, and everything. By the time you get on the plane to fly somewhere else, I'm going to already be there. So if things go with traffic, and I'm hoping that they do, I'm so excited about, being so close to home with this particular one. Sorry, guys, this throat is it's much better. It just doesn't like to stay clear very long. We have Rovilla and Valerie and Shatika Woods. What a beautiful name. And Valerie and Sheila. She says, I'll be taking your big and bold cables class. Yay! I can't wait to meet you, Sheila. That's going to be so much fun. I hope you guys like it. You're probably going to know all these stitches anyway, but it'll be fun just to hang out. And if you're really good at these stitches and want to help the other people in the class, I may have to pay you to help me. So that's going to be fun. And Jane Chapman says, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Bonnie and Leisure Arts, for the Aran Afghan leaflet. You are welcome. She says, I love having a paper booklet. I'm going to go ahead and just review. This is from last week, like Thursday evening. My husband brings in this box that I didn't know. When people deliver stuff, they never ring the doorbell anymore. They're too busy, I guess, bless their hearts. But I found out that the Aran Afghans to Crochet, this was my very first publication, and the thing that started me into publication at all. This came out even before I even knew what Crochet Guild of America was or any of that. And it went out of print a few years ago. And so Leisure Arts has been, I think, reorganizing. It's really, I can't emphasize this enough, it's really been tough for publication because, as you know, we're kind of transitioning from paper books to PDFs, and I don't, I like both, but I love my books. I mean, I love my hard copies because when hard copies like this are around, I can stumble upon them and I'm reminded of what I can do. So I have a whole collection behind me, and this is, you can't even see just a portion of it, of crochet books, knit books, reference books, what have you. They're just very inspiring, and I'm flipping through them all the time. But this is now available I thought it was going to be on Amazon. Amazon hasn't gotten them on their site yet, but they do have them on the Leisure Arts site. Um, and I'm charging a little bit more on my site because it includes free shipping if you're in the US. So if you want an autographed copy, check out the links in the video description below. I do have a limited number, but I do have some in my Etsy store, and was able to give away several copies last week in a giveaway. So I'm sorry if you missed it, if you missed that, but I do have them in my Etsy store, and I will try to get them out as fast as I can. I'm gonna have to close that store, that the physical shipments out before I leave to go to Pittsburgh, but I'm gonna leave that open through Wednesday afternoon. So, or maybe next Tuesday. Let's say next Tuesday afternoon, because Wednesday will be pack day for me, and I'm going to have to shut down the physical distribution stuff because I'm not going to be here to send them out, and I get bad marks from Etsy if I don't respond, like that, and I'm just not going to be able to do that since I'm going to be away. But anyway, so that's available. And let me mention something else too. I get it out of the way, and I'm not telling you this because this is a problem with you. You guys are the faithful, and I so appreciate that. But what I want to say now is to protect yourself as well. Please, please, you can help find a keepsake, a physical book from eBay. Try not eBay, okay? There are a lot of scams afoot. There are a lot of patterns being sold illegally there. And I don't understand why people do this, but they do. And this is people in the US, this is people in the UK. Yesterday, I was just doing manual and trying to serve somebody on YouTube by answering them questions. They like the Aaron Hearts Throw, but they wanted to make it into a smaller baby blanket. Of course, I don't have time to redesign things like that online for people. But I did design a baby blanket that had the popcorn hearts. This was back in 2012, 2013. It was published in Crochet World magazine and in one of the 2013 editions. And so I went searching online to find the link where this person could download that edition of the magazine, because you can still do that. And it's actually a great deal because it's a few dollars. I don't know, maybe $5 to $6. I'm not sure exactly, but you end up getting like 28 different patterns in the book, plus the pattern that this person was looking for. So I went to find that link for her. And as soon as I searched for it, even before the Annie's link that came up an eBay link with a picture of my little baby blanket that I made and sold the rights to Annie's. So this person is reselling this pattern illegally as a PDF download. She has absolutely no right to do that. This is a US seller. Okay, so that's big and bad, and I've contacted Annie's, and their lawyers are going to take care of that. So, but I say this to you because, it's not like I'm losing a lot of money here in this particular one instance, but it is hurting Annie's. Annie's supports a lot of designers, and I know you understand that. I'm preaching to the choir right now, and you guys have supported me so well and have, responded on this Facebook post that I posted yesterday evening when I was not real happy. Basically just said, come on, guys. What's with this? But the other big and bad thing that I saw was the Aaron Hearts Throw, which was one of my first designs I sold to Red Heart Yarns. They paid me to, for my rights to this pattern way back in 2011, long time ago. And so they own the pattern. Of course, Red Heart is now owned by Yarnspiration. So Yarnspiration owns this pattern, which they are giving away freely. That's why I sold them the design, so they could promote their yarn. It's just the way this works in the industry, and it's a good system. You can get free patterns, wonderful um, tech edited, industry standard, free designs from the yarn companies because they have paid the designers already. Okay, so I'm not losing money on this one, but the reason I mention this is because this other person on eBay out of the UK was selling this for just under £2. You can get the free copy if you pay them £2, 1.99 British pounds. And I'm like, so they're not just trying to defraud me and other designers and the entire publication industry. They're trying to go after you. They're going after you. Okay, so I just want you to be aware. Okay, I'm going to get off the preach box right now, but I know you understand this, and I know you guys are great. I'm not, this is not a correction in any way, shape, or form. Don't see it like that. But if you have friends who are just making copies and giving them away to folks, let them know that the people that they're defrauding are not exactly not that it would be better if they were if we were millionaires and defrauding millionaires. That's not good either. That's still theft. That's still, just let them know that they're hurting your mind. Okay. And not only that, but if you like books, and I know a lot of you do like the books even more than the stuff that just exists in cyberspace on your computer, um, the publication industry is struggling right now. They're trying to find themselves, trying to survive, this transition to everything digital and everybody stealing everything. So, if you guys can just be extra eyes out there, not just for me, but just for, the other crochet designers or even musicians and people like that you may follow. That's why musicians, oh, I'm really preaching. I'm sorry. But that's why musicians are having such a struggle. I mean, I kind of am a musician, but there's no way I can make a living doing that. But it's really hard. It's really hard in the music industry as well because primarily of theft. So thank you guys for listening to that rant. I'm done. Okay. Okay, so people, Hannah's telling me that I'm breaking up a lot. Sorry about that. I'm not sure what's going on there. Everything is the same on my computer system, um, but I'll let my husband know if he can check out the system. We did have some issues with my neighbor's house this past week, so I don't know if that's related to us or not. But anyway, let's go ahead and get positive, happy things. So I talked to you about the Pittsburgh Creative Arts Festival. Let me tell you about Saturday real quick. Saturday, for the first time in my life, I got to go to my local fair. As you remember last week, I showed you the 2 awards that I gave. I'm just really happy to do things like that. But the crochet chairperson asked me to please stay the morning and help with the judging. So I'm not a judge. I'm not a certified judge. I didn't go through judging school and all that. And yeah, you do have to do that if you're going to be an official judge at these things. But I was their helper, kind of was writing down, they would give me the stack of things that they put in, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, whatever, in order. And I would write it down on the sheet so that was recorded. And I got to attach all the beautiful ribbons to them. And I just thought, oh, I should show you some of my ribbons, kind of a blast from the past. And this is why, this is, this is the thing I worked for many, many, many years. And it was always elusive. But back in 2006, this is one thing I do my getting into publication. But this was the first time I got a show in crochet. That was 2006. And yeah, it was for an Afghan that I had designed. And this one was from, what year is this? Okay, here's one. Okay, this was in 2010. And what's fun about this is as you judge, what they do is they take all the first place entries from the different classes, let's say in Afghans, and then they get them all together, and then they give the winner of, let's say, that particular area, will get a champion award. And then they'll have another area where they'll, kind of, it's kind of like, I think of tennis going through, going from quarterfinals to semifinals, and then the final championship match. But then they have, grand champions. So you kind of work your way up in the judging process, and then one person, yeah, I got to do this a couple times, gets the best of show. There's not a there's not a lot of money necessarily attached to these kinds of awards, but it's more prestige. I mean, my kids will say, "Oh, you got bragging rights for the whole year." It's like, well, you're not supposed to brag though, right? Um, but but that's just something that you can do. And I wanted to just give you some observations. I'm going to try to put a video together with footage and everything for my watch subscribers. I'll try to get to it this time I can, but not maybe a week or two. Just festivals coming up. But um, I just encourage you guys to try to enter uh, your designs, because the pictures that you're sending me, and I'm not saying this because these are my designs. These are your work that when you send me photos that I redisplay on my social media, with your permission, of course. Um, your work is outstanding. It really is, and a lot of it would have excelled at my particular local fair. And we have a larger county fair, which generally has a lot more entries than some of the smaller fairs that I've been to in my lifetime. So I just say get out there and do it. Find out. I do have a book on my site. Do I have a copy of it here? Of course not. But I do have a book called Winning at the Fair. It'll help you if you're a little nervous about the administration part of it, as most of us can be. It's a lot to do. If you're experienced that, you don't need a book. I'll just say that up right. But definitely put your stuff in the fair. And it's so much fun to meet people. You don't have time to go to a crochet conference. Go to your local fair. You will meet other crafters. You'll meet other people that maybe you can make, a friend of life. Who knows? I have met some really wonderful friends there. Chair people in particular, Dana and Teresa. She's the retired one, but she did it for so many years, and it was great to see them. They were there serving all day. But one thing I wanted to tell you: if you do enter your stuff anywhere in any contest, this was the overall biggest problem we saw with a lot of designs. Hide your loose strand. There were some designs that were nice, but they didn't hide any of the loose strands on the back side. Like, really? And some people just tied little knots and didn't hide knots. And I'm like, ee. And the judges, sometimes you're trying to decide between first and second place. And then they'll say, oh, look at this. There are a few knots here. So you know who didn't get first place in those cases. And a lot of times it's not a matter of the work as much as it is of the finishing of the product. I know it takes time. I know hiding loose ends is a pesky job. It's not why we crochet. That's kind of like the kind of work, kind of things you don't like to do. But it's so important. So I just say that if you do enter, and I encourage you, give it a try. I mean, what's the worst that could happen is that you don't get a ribbon. And I wanted to say on behalf of the two judges that I helped serve, there were like 3 different sets. There were like 6 different judges in crochet, but I was helping to write down things, like I said, for these other 2 really nice ladies. And sometimes they would be looking at a piece that was really if you know what I mean. But this one lady's heart to serve the crocheter and to encourage them to come back was we need to write something down that is positive. We need, if you're going to write a correction down, you can do that. I mean, a lot of times they would write, you need to hide your loose ends. But that was after they had written 2 or 3 things that they really liked about the project to encourage this person. So I just to let you know that, and I know not all people who work at fairs are like that, but the ladies that I worked with, they were great. You know, how can we encourage this person? And if a child entered a crochet piece, oh my goodness, um, we tried to encourage up one side and down the other just as much as possible because we want them to continue the craft into the next generation. Okay, so anyway, that's my speech about about the Montgomery County Agricultural Fair. And I get out there, ladies. It's the end of the summer, but I know a lot of these you fairs don't even begin until the fall. So get out there, and even if you don't want to enter something, get out there and maybe just volunteer and just to get to meet people. It's a wonderful opportunity. Um, I hope I'm not breaking up as much. My feed seems to be okay. Um, but anyway, let me just keep on going here. If Let me just say about the chat again, that if I miss, let me go ahead, live chat. If I miss your comment, I apologize. I lots of comments are coming in, and I just don't want to miss anybody. We'll say hi to Deborah from Arkansas. I just changed the live chat to as it comes in, and there are a lot of people that weren't showing before. Hannah, thank you so much for being there for us, and Esther. Oh, she says hello. This is probably my last time to join Friday Fun Live. Unfortunately, my work schedule has changed. Instead of having off Fridays now I'm working on Fridays. Oh well. Well, Esther, thank you so much for being there for us. I hope your mom is doing better. Give her a hug for me, okay? And belated happy birthday. I'm sorry I missed your birthday. I didn't even know. So I just want to wish you a wonderful, wonderful belated birthday. And yeah, lots of folks in here. We have Sandra. Sandra Q. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the last name because I know I will not get it. We have Cookies for Isaac. That's great. That's a great name. And Tracy Hamilton, so glad that you're with us. And Crochet Renee, she says, I'm going to miss Pittsburgh. The oldest and husband was exposed. Oh, God. Crochet Renee, please see if you can get a refund on that. Sandra says, I've slightly burned our dinner watching the live. I've rescued it and don't think anyone will notice. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. And she wants to know, does the live show record? Yes, it does. So yeah, thank you for telling that to Esther. Yeah, it does record and replays with the comments each week if I push all the right buttons, which I think I have. Let's see. Oh, Hannah, I'm sorry your back is bothering you. Oh, Archernace, you're so sweet. You're so sweet. Um, yeah, Tracy, I'm sorry if you didn't catch my rant. It was just talking about a post that I put on Facebook last night. You can check on that. It was kind of about people illegally selling patterns on eBay, trying to scam me, trying to scam my publisher, and trying to scam you, even worse. That's what upsets me the absolute most. That was what I was talking about. Um, there is a free pattern, the Aaron Hart's throw, which you all are somewhat familiar with. Um, that is available free from Red Heart and Yarnspirations, and somebody from the UK is selling it to you on eBay. Don't buy PDFs on eBay. Don't do it, okay? A lot of them are just should not be there. Unless you're buying an absolute physical copy of an old book or something. To resell one of my books on eBay is perfectly fine as long as they're selling the actual book. If they're selling a photocopy of it, that's as bad as it gets. I mean, that's just yeah. Anyway, so that was the rant. um, all right. Yeah, a lot of people are saying I'm breaking up, but all right. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. And Sheila says, if you, she has a question. If you invent a unique stitch like your Celtic weave, should other designers ask your permission to use it? Just wondering what the polite thing is to do. Um, I don't really know, Sheila. Probably not. Um, I'm guessing it's public domain. At least the Celtic weave is at this point. I mean, before I even put my own, yeah, I mean, and just to draw attention to my leaflet once again, my shameless promotional here. See this, the Celtic weave right here in the center of the panel. They're actually this is not center. This is the center here, and they folded it. So you have Celtic weave on this side and Celtic weave on the other side. This is the actually first time that the Celtic weave in shape form ever was published, and I named it the Celtic weave. It was actually named the Barker Celtic weave, but Lee Sharps edited it down to just plain old Celtic weave, or CW in crochet abbreviation. So that was 2011 when this was published. So I came up with that stitch around 2009. It did not appear until years after this came out. So, a lot of people go ahead and get the shine off of that. There we go. A lot of a lot of people use it, and I'm flattered. I'm glad. But yeah, that's kind of a fine line. I mean, you can use it. I mean, people have. Nobody's ever asked me for it. So, and they've published things. So, I mean, I'm assuming it's fine. You know, that's okay. That's fine. I mean, it's just like who invented a double crochet? You know, I've been using stitches that others have come up with as well. So it's not a problem to answer your question. Um, yeah, not a problem. But as far as being the polite thing to do, yeah, it'd be nice. People ask. I would probably say, sure, go ahead. And on in a related subject, like if you sell things on Etsy, if you make, let's say, the Erin Hearts throw or any of the Afghans or anything in this leaflet or any other leaflet, here's another one. Any of these leaflets, um, it's absolutely fine. The only thing that I ask is that where it's appropriate, that you would say this is a Bonnie Barker design. That's all I ask. I don't ask for money or anything like that. Now, if you say it's your design when you publish it, that's a problem. I just verbal credit is all I ask for. And people I know sell a lot of these things on Etsy, and that's great. It's keeping the craft alive, and that is my goal, is to keep this craft alive and going, decades and generations after I'm gone. That's the goal. Kelly says we're going to get 9% rain and storms today and tomorrow. Yeah, well, enjoy that. I know that we've gotten a lot of rain too, Kelly, but it's great. I don't have to water my flowers. The Lord is doing it for me. He's filling our well. So we're in that cycle again. She says, I prefer hard copies rather than downloads. Yeah, me too. Also here, my kids, when they're going to have a lot of books to go through. I love, and my crochet books, knit books, and what's in my collection. Ooh, Sandra Harper said her husband bought her a beautiful black sweater. She's asking, what is the best way to store it? I would treat it like wool. Um, if you have a cedar chest, that would probably be a place. You have a YouTube channel that talks a lot about that, so you might want to take a look at that. When you store for the end of the season, it's getting warm. To store it away for a period of time. The one thing I read about is it's important that you store them away clean. If you have like body oils and perspiration, or things that smell like you on the sweater, that I'm told is what helps to attract moths and other moths are not the only pests that eat natural fibers. Um, there are many different bugs, including benign things like carpet beetles that, they're not like dirty roaches or anything like that, but like even little beetles, carpet beetles, that can be in the carpet. They just come in through, the door, and are very common. They can even come in through windows. It's really weird. But just know that pests that like, oh my goodness. Thank you, Grace. My goodness, you just added $20. Well, 19. I'm going to round up 20. So we're up to $55. Thank you so much. Um, but definitely check out that video. You want to store it away in an environment that is, you want to store away clean, and you want to store it, if you have like something with like those mothball, not mothballs. Don't use mothballs. I have these little cedar balls that you can get and put into boxes. You can seal it away. Um, but just some place where bugs won't get into it. And it gets a little complicated, but it doesn't have to be. But definitely check out the video and see what you think, and just store it away in your closet. Um, yeah, but just make sure that when you store it in a box or something, it doesn't even have to be airtight. Just kind of like those like box like that. You know, the lid. Now and pretty fully airtight, if you know what I mean. It's not like a Ziploc bag. You probably don't want to put it in a totally sealed off environment. Cold temperatures also need to breathe. So or like I said, just in a cedar chest is probably a really good way to do that. And the reason that cedar chest works, and that's assuming it still has the aromatic smell of the cedar, is those critters, bugs, moths, whatever, they don't like the smell of the cedar. It's just the smell. It's just the natural way to repel them. You can use mothballs, but I would steer away from that. Mothballs. Once you store something with mothballs, it's going to smell like that forever, and it's to me, it's not a good smell. I can't stand the smell. It reminds me of my grandmother. Everything she has smell like mothballs. Um, Not only that, mothballs can be toxic to your animals and to yes, mothballs. Iodichlorobenzene, I think is the chemical. I remember that from chemistry class in ninth grade. No, 11th grade, because we had to melt them down. And anyway, but yeah, stay away from mothballs. They're not the way to go for many reasons. Um, Sorry, Hannah. She's saying her energy, patience level is wearing thin today. You know, pray for Hannah. Thank you guys. I know some of you do, but taking care of somebody is a tall order. She's doing an outstanding job. But thank you guys. Just that's all I want to say about that. And she's growing by leaps and bounds, and she's learning a lot, and and she's just serving our family so heroically. It's just beyond words. But anyway, um, let's see. Tracy says, I can't wait to put my projects in my state fair. We have to turn them in September 10th. Yay. Yay. Tell me how you do, Tracy. I think you'll do great. I know you will. I hope you get the best of show. That would be so cool. But make sure you hide all the strands, okay? Don't let those judges find any strands. Hide them well. Okay, let me go ahead and show you something I am really, really, really excited about. I have a new scarf. I've had this sitting behind me in the past. Let me go ahead and show this to you. Let's see, when I release this. Coming August 29th. This is a long brown scarf. Some of another that I do, but it is significantly different. Have the basket weave in between and two alternating cables side by side. And this is made with yarn that I bought from an Etsy seller, but I met her. She's going to be in Pittsburgh. Okay, this is why I'm telling you this. The name of the seller is Made for You by Laura. Is that right? Yeah, Made for You, Made for and the letter U by Laura. She is going to be in Pittsburgh, so I could tell you where to buy. You know, that is her site on Etsy. But since she is getting ready to travel to Pittsburgh and won't be able to ship out, she has kind of, you know, disabled her store temporarily online. But she's going to be putting together kits. This takes three of um, her yarns. And what kind? Well, I don't have the name exactly, but she's going to be selling kits in Pittsburgh that are going to include the pattern. We've kind of made a deal on our pattern with her. And so the kit will include the pattern. The pattern one, if you get the kit, the pattern's going to be ready to go, and the video will be accessible by the people who purchase the pattern. I am uploading this to my Lovecraft store, so if anybody wants to get the early jump on that. Now, if this will be coming to my watch channel as well. I'm going to try to get it uploaded sooner rather than later if I get translations back. But I'm going to try to do that. So you guys will have the pattern complimentary, of course. This yarn is so nice. I mean, it's just the merino wool superwash with the Donegal. It is a fingering weight, and you know, it's going to be really nice to wear. You know, inside my coat. You can wrap around a bunch of times. You can do whatever you want, and you could even, if you wanted to, omit the basket. You can just wanted to make it an infinity scarf. I guess you could technically, but I just kind of like a long drapey scarf. So anyway, just really happy with Laura on this. So if you're in Pittsburgh and you like the design, you know, check out her kits. I just wanted to encourage that. And once this goes live, the year should be available online because she'll be back, you know, from the Pittsburgh event and so forth. All right. Now, for the big show here, and this is what I've been wanting to show you for a while. This is, I'm going to show you the throw. It's coming September 19th. So I'm going to show this a little bit early. I'm probably not going to be live next week. So depends on what I can do at that. I don't know. I may have to delay it, see what we can do next Friday. I will be in touch. I will let you know in the community section, but I wanted to let you know about this design. This is the one that I use, the Uptown Worsted. This is a worsted weight, 100% anti-pilling acrylic. I think I'm pretty sure I used 19 of these, but if I were you, I would if you wanted to do this, 20, and let me yardage on each of these balls. It's 180 yards in each. I went through 19 balls of this yarn, and I don't recall running into any knots in the yarn itself. So it is, of course, I use the project. So if you wanted to use a different type of worsted weight yarn, that's fine. Or even if you wanted to downsize to a DK weight, you can do that too. But I used approximately 3,500 yards. So if you go with other yarn, oh yeah, and this is called Sapphire. It's number 331 on the number. I think there is a link below for Universal Yarns if you wanted to order online from them. I don't think that they have a lot of this in the big box stores. It is a little bit more expensive than the Red Heart Caron stuff, but it's a very nice yarn. Well, let me show you this design. Okay, it has the same cable, changing cable, you know, where you have if I could hold it here, like one cable with the two columns, and then it turns into two cables. And across from that, you have the two cables, and then it turns into the one cable with the two columns, if that makes sense. It's not as hard as it looks. Okay, and that's on both sides. And then in the middle is the large honeycomb, and then the other side. Okay, and we show you the end because I know you want to know, what does the end look like? And I just stuck with basic simple ribbing to frame it, so you don't have any um, perimeter rounds or anything like that. And I was thinking as I was making this, that it would be a good man's throw, I think, because it's not terribly ornate, and you do have the big and bold cables throughout. And I'm calling this Shannon's Wandering Throw, named for the largest river that runs through Ireland. And you know how rivers wander, twisting and turning, and so it just kind of reminded me of a river with the color and also the changing of the cables. So I hope you enjoy that. Let me go ahead and put it behind me. It's a little messy, but you get the idea. So I'm just really happy, really excited. It's again another one of those where you crochet across with a lot of front and back post um, stitches, and hopefully, you know, somewhat relaxed. If you've never done cables before, I would probably steer you more to some in this direction, where you just work one stitch at a time, because you are working um, multiple cables. I mean, which is not hard once you understand the system. You know, a scarf might be the way to go to understand, you know, the cables in a smaller project first, and you can learn if you like them or if you don't like them. You know, that way you're not invested, you know, as fully as you would be in a more consuming project. I wanted to get that out in September in case people wanted to do that for a Christmas present, or you know, just whatever. And in this way, you have at least 19th, so you have a month to get the supplies. You know, becoming September 19th. All right. Again, um, we have a Nanny Lanny Loves Craft. That's a great name. Um, and lots of conversation. So we have Jetty, says hello from Holland. Wow, I don't believe I've seen you here before. Welcome to my channel and to our live. Um, I'm going from the bottom. He wants to know, are you from the U.S.? I'm not necessarily. We have people from UK, many people from the U.S., but many other parts of the world, Australia, New Zealand. I mean, all sorts of places. And you are definitely welcome to join us. Um, and we have Swati. She says, for the throw. Good to see you in the chat. Your hands are doing better. And I'm going to go backwards for a bit, just make sure I didn't miss anybody. We have Jacqueline Lufridge. Oh, so sweet. And I'm glad you like it. So glad. Oh, thank you, Mary and Gary Snyder. I'm glad you like that and approve. I appreciate that. Let's see. And Michelle M and Wanda, thank you so much. Um, Cookies for Isaac says, she was talking to Cynthia saying, I always wished for a hope chest. I should have one. I have a lot of wool. It's kind of my obsession. You have an heirloom that is priceless. Yes. You may want to even check, you know, Craigslist and places like that. You know, people selling, um, you know, cedar chests that they want to get rid of. If you do, you may have to. It may not be as aromatic as should be to protect some of those things. Sometimes you sand them down to bring it back, or even get some cedar oil. I have a can of it over here. You can just kind of rub it down with cedar oil, or even just put the cedar balls and um, little things that you can get, even at like Walmart and places like that, and even just add to a box like I'm showing you. And if you put the oil on it fresh, you want to make sure that that dries before you put it in with your things, because you don't want the oil to be getting in touch with your material until it's absolutely dry. Um, oh wow, Leslie Oliver is in the chat. She says, "Sorry, it's 3 a.m. here in Australia and only just woken up." Oh my goodness, Leslie. I hope you're doing well. Wow, that's right. You guys are like 16 hours ahead of us in the US Eastern time here. Oh, thank you, Sheila. She likes the scarf. So if I make it for a friend who is sensitive to wool, what would be a nice acrylic yarn to use? That's a really good question. It really depends on what you like. Uh, you may even want to look into something alpaca, because sometimes people who are allergic to lamb's wool may not be, are not allergic to alpaca, but the alpaca needs to have been processed in a place that was not processing wool as well. If that makes sense. I guess people like that. There are a lot of nice cottons you could use as well. Um, I would just do a Google search, or go to Love Crafts, or even to the Universal Yarn site and see what they have in the way of fingering weight yarns. Um, I'm thinking of another, but it's a wool. I know Cascade Yarn has a really nice heritage silk yarn, but again, it has wool, and you're going to want that. So, so yeah. Just you can also email me, and I can look online and see what we can come up with if you want to do that. Wow, looks like Cynthia has some heirlooms. Oh, she has a nice chest there. I've got nice cedar chest. That's great. Um, yeah, thanks, Sandra. Yeah, she knows about the cedar ball thing. Okay. Let me see. Wannabe crocheter or knitter? What's a good lightweight yarn for a blanket for Florida heat? Their Barocco yarn company makes a really nice acrylic cotton blend. I can't remember the name of it. Um, let me do a quick search here. Yarn, because I know, what was it called? What's it called? I think it's called Comfort. Is that it? Hold on a minute. Let me look at I'm looking at their site. No, that's not it. No, it's not Comfort, because that's more acrylic. They always, let me see. Okay, there's something called Modern Cotton by Barocco. That might be a good kind. Or if you can find, now, make something cotton for the Florida heat. Just keep in mind that cotton, it tends to be a heavier fabric. So if you make it out of 100% cotton, it's going to be a heavy blanket unless you go with a lighter weight yarn. And when I talk about cotton, this is I'm thinking more like, this is okay. I think this is mercerized. We talked about that last week. 100% mercerized. Okay, so which has kind of does have a nice sheen to it. It's much softer. This is a thinner yarn. You probably want something a little bit thicker. But when I say cotton, don't make it out of this. This will be so heavy. And if you make a cotton blanket, trust me on this, it will probably kill your washer machine, because it will get heavy. when you wash it, and that's a no-go. So I was going to say, if you can get something that's like an acrylic cotton blend, that would be really nice. Bamboo is nice. I've made some really nice baby blankets out of DK weight bamboo from Good Loops yarns, Good Loop fibers. I think there used to be a video, a link in the video description, um, but definitely check out Good Loops. The any of their fusion, which is a blend of bamboo and cotton, or just their regular cotton. It's a DK weight. It's a little bit pricey, um, but it's absolutely. I'm trying to see if I have some that I could pick up real quick and show you, but it's not really easily accessible. But it's a really nice show. You can check it out, or just whatever you can find. Just know that acrylics do tend to be on the warmer side, which is fantastic for living where you have sometimes 3 feet wide, but definitely not for the Florida sun. Um, oh, cookies for. I'm going backwards again. Just she says I have all wool in sealed containers with a lot of cedar under, beside, and on top of them all. Oh wow! And she said she had moths ate right through the middle. Oh yeah, yeah, that's hard. And just to let you all know, I do talk about this in the video on preserving your things. It's actually not the moths that, well, it is the moths that get in and lay their eggs. It's the larvae that eat through the sweaters. It's the little wormy larvae left behind the moth. So it's moth flying around. They're not at each sweater, but they're the ones if they get in and lay eggs. Um, they do not like being out in the light. If they do that, it's going to be way back in your closet somewhere. So another thing that you can do with your is rotate. Um, you don't, with moths, like I say, they like deep dark, uh, hidden away places. That's where they do that. So things are like stored out. Like a lot of my yarn even is kind of stored out where there is some sunlight. It's not in bright sunlight because my house faces north, but there is enough light in here. It's I haven't had any trouble so far, and I think part of it is it is sealed away. I do have the mothballs. I do have, I mean, not mothballs, cedar balls in these containers with them, and and so far so good. I even have some yarn that I brought back from Ireland back in 2011, and it's fine. Nothing has bothered it. And I didn't even put any cedar balls in there, but because of the light in the room, they don't do much. And what you could do even is to rotate your yarn if it's stored out in the open, is make sure that you take the yarn from the back, just rotate it every so often just to make sure there's nothing getting back there where it's, dark. Um, Thanks for sending that question to me, Hannah. Let's see. Let me just see if there are any other questions, because I do need to probably let Hannah go. I'm probably not going to get to everybody. Oh, I see April Mack in the chat. So good to have you here. She says, finally caught you live. Love your channel. Thank you so much, April. I appreciate that. And if there's any question that you absolutely need answered that I haven't gotten to, please just let me know. Yeah, cookies for Isaac says, oh no, I'm really grossed out. I did not know it was the larvae. Yeah, that's what eats it. It's just, yeah, and probably, yeah. And I had that happen too. I have to tell you a story. Um, the first time that I invested a lot of money, and this was back before I got married, which was in 1988. Got married in July, and I bought yarn from I remember the yarn was brown sheep wool, brown sheep company, and I got this yarn. It was beautiful, and it was wool. And I made my husband secretly. He didn't know I was making this. I did it when I was on my lunch break at work. Made him an Afghan for our wedding, and it was actually one from not from this, but from my OGH is her name, and she's one who is a lot. So yeah, I packed it away, and we were up in Massachusetts, and by the time we moved down here, I mean, it wasn't even 3, 4 years old. By the time we were living in Maryland, I took it out of the. You can yell at me later. The plastic bag it was stored in. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I didn't know better. I had never really had much of anything made of wool except one sweater that I shrunk, and it turned out to be a Barbie after that. Um, anyway, this row, and I had invested over $100 a year, which for me at the time in the 1980s, $100 would be like probably than 200 to 300 today. But it was a special wedding gift I wanted to give my husband, and it is no more. But lo and behold, we have plenty of others, so it's not that big of a deal. And after that, I've learned to just stick with acrylics. Get high quality acrylic that will survive the washer and the dryer, and you'll be fine. And that's, I mean, I have designed for other people who wanted their yarn to be featured. I mean, the lap blankets that I've done with Emily at Lamp Shop Kits, which are absolutely beautiful. But when you do something that large, just make sure if it's out in your couch, it's probably fine. It's probably safe just out in the open. Like I said, because moths don't hide out in the open; they hide in dark, damp places. But if you're going to store it away, then do it very carefully. Do it when it's clean. Do it very carefully. Those can last a long too. Anyhow, um, go ahead and get the site where I'm going to read a very inspirational passage that I read yesterday, and when I read it, I want to read that because was one of my favorite hymns. Sing this hymn. So if you have any questions on anything, do let me know. And just to remind you, next week is iffy because I'm out and about. If I can broadcast um, on Friday at some point, I'll let you know. I don't know that I'm gonna have. I might have time, but if I do, the timing is probably going to change a bit. So I will post a section as well as on to let you know, to update you what my schedule will be if I even have a way to broadcast. Okay. So thanks for being patient with me on that one. But let me go ahead and encourage you. This really encouraged me this week. Um, I'm reading from the scriptures from the Holy Bible and online version, which is the same. And this is Psalm 30, and it's a song of ascents. This would be a song that the Israelites would have sung on their pilgrimage to Passover, or to the temple. Okay, and I'll just go ahead and read. Out of the depths I cry to you, O Lord. O Lord, hear my voice. Let your ears be attentive to the voice of my pleas for mercy. If you, O Lord, should mark iniquities, O Lord, who could stand? But there is forgiveness that you may be feared. I wait for the Lord, my soul waits, and in his word I hope. My soul waits for the Lord more than watchmen for the morning, more than watchmen for the morning. O Israel, hope in the Lord, for with the Lord there is steadfast love, and with him is plentiful redemption. Isn't that beautiful? And he will redeem Israel from all his iniquities. I just love the reassurance of that psalm. Well, I hope you guys have a wonderful time, and those of you who are in Pittsburgh, I will see you in Pittsburgh. God bless. Bye bye.